Halo, Assalamualaikum. Miss Oli, can you hear my voice? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, Mr. Barry.
Hey, hello, Miss CD.
Hello,
All
good
right.
evening, everyone.
Evening.
Okay.
We will start at 7:30 p.m. 2 minutes left. Bu Ida, you can start now.
Oke, Miss Amel. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, Bapak Ibu, in this talk show. To those I respect, the chairman of Ikatan Guru Indonesia, Bapak Danang Hidayatullah, a chairperson of IGI Kota Bogor, Ibu Siti Amalia, our speaker this evening, Mr. Berio, moderator Ibu Olivia, and the great teacher who attended this evening talk show. Okay, let's give thanks to Allah, the Almighty God, because of His grace and guidance. We can all be here to take part in this talk show, The Heart of Teaching with Mr. Berio, art teacher from Singapore. There is a saying, if you don't know, then you don't love. So let me introduce myself. My name is Hida Wahida Hussein. I am a teacher of SDN Kaung Luwuk and Board of IGI Kota Bogor. Before our event started, we first sang Indonesia Raya and Mars IGI.
mengemban visi mencerdaskan bangsa, mendidik generasi mulia, menjunjung kehormatan kode etik guru Indonesia. IGI Ikatan Guru Indonesia bersumpah menjadi guru sejati, mengabdi untuk negeri, menjadi mutiara ibu pertiwi. Jayalah IGI, majulah IGI, Ikatan Guru Indonesia. Jayalah IGI, majulah IGI, Ikatan Guru Indonesia.
Miss Hida, still mute.
Okay, thank you. Before our event started, and don't forget to pray silently to God Almighty. Start praying. Finish. Okay, I would like to say hello first to our chairman of IGI, Bapak Danang Hidayatullah. Is Bapak Danang here? Okay.
Halo Pak Danang.
Halo Pak Danang.
Yeah, wait for a moment.
Okay. Halo Pak Danang, how are you?
Yes, Ibu.
Okay. How are you tonight, Pak Danang?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I'm still busy with we have people now in Ternate,
Oh,
Maluku for organisasi penggerak POP.
it's very busy. It's okay, Bapak. Thank you for coming. Okay, this evening talk show is remarks from General Chairperson of the Indonesia Teachers Association, Ikatan Guru Indonesia. Now, let's listen to the speech from Bapak Danang Hidayatullah. So, Bapak Danang, welcome.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wabarakatuh.
I would like to say good night for everybody, especially for Mr. Jerry and for IGI Kota Bogor ya. I really appreciate what the event is really inspired not only Indonesian Teacher Association members, but also I think all of the teachers in Indonesia. Because IGI Bogor consistently with this event. I've read biography Mr. Berry and everybody, and this is connect with our spirit, which is sharing and growing together. We try to be resilient in this change era, and we have this webinar can give impact of this webinar. And I think that's all. I'm so sorry because in the middle of event, I still have program organisasi penggerak event. I think that's all. Thank you and good luck for everybody, especially to all committee. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Pak Danang, for the remarks. Wish you always be healthy, sir. Okay. This talk show will be moderated by Ibu Olivia Tomasowa, who will accompany our speaker tonight. Good evening, Miss Oli.
Good evening, Miss Hida. How are you today?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, I'm fine, thank you. And how are
Okay.
you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's just a little bit nervous, maybe because of this is the first time. What is it? We have the speaker from abroad, so it's like a big. I don't know. It's like very excited to have this ngopi time.
Okay. Okay, Miss Oli, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm excited to listen the speaker tonight. And to Miss Oli, please moderate this event, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our special ngopi tonight with special guest too, special speaker. We have here Mr. Barry Yo. Okay, and then thank you for all the opportunity that given to me tonight, so that I have my time to lead, to be part of, to moderate this, to be the moderator in this ngopi. All right, before we have the conversation, we have the chat, because Mr. Barry said that he wants that tonight is just like we are sharing, we are talking, everything is flowing without any what is it? It's not like the formal, but still we have the formal parts too. Okay, I will introduce Mr. Barry first. All right. Mr. Barry is a very have a very interesting biography. Here, I will read his artist biography. The name is Mr. Barry Yo. He was born in Singapore. Barry Yo is a self-taught artist whose interest in drawing started at a very young age. Wow. He continued what he loved till after stumbling into some art trainers. His inclination progressed towards further understanding and arts, and he became a full-time artist in 2011. Barry became a gallery owner, art teacher in 2015, and by then has exhibited his work both in local and international exhibitions. Inspired by impressionists, yes, such as Monet. His works are often expressed with heavily textured mediums with vibrant and lively hues. His work can be seen to be very spiritually inspired in its approach, and he believes that hope is an essential commodity in everyone's lives. Wow, interesting. As a result, mural painting is part of his portfolio because he emphasizes that happiness can be spread through art making. Yes, true. Creating artwork has given him joy and contentment. He wants his art to impact and inspire others to do likewise. Wow, create. So amazing. Okay, that's the artist biography. That's very interesting. And then we also have here the events that he had been joining, or he was it exhibited in. The newest in 2023, he joined for 12th Asia Art Alliance exhibition, art exhibition, Singapore Iron Orchard celebration art exhibition in Singapore Iron Orchard still, Rising Legends art exhibition, Singapore Art, Texture Evo art exhibition, Singapore Art House, Borobudur Art Fest. Wow, in Indonesia, the exhibition is in Indonesia. Wow. Affordable art fair, the art fair in Singapore. He said in the, like it is mentioned in his biography, artist biography, he started the exhibition in 2011, which is a yellow ribbon art exhibition in Singapore Art Museum, and so on. He had been joining the exhibition in Singapore, in Myanmar, Turkey, Indonesia, and then also Philippines. I found here Penang, Malaysia, and then New York too, and in Taiwan. So there are plenty of exhibition that he had been participating. All right, I think that's enough for introducing our speaker tonight. very interesting. Okay, let's welcome Mr. Barry. Good evening, Mr. Barry. How are you today?
Hey, good evening. I'm fine. Thank you very much, Miss Olivia. Thank
Yes.
you, Ikatan Guru Indonesia Kota Bogor for the
Okay.
privilege. And in fact, I'm very honored and very humbled that to be part of this special event. And thank
Yes.
you, Lord, for all of you, to all of you for the gracing of this event. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. This is also our first time ngopi special ngopi that we have the speaker from our neighboring country like you from abroad. So it's very interesting. All right, Mr. Gary, it's all about art. I wonder why you just like you write the title is like he but heart, but the H and E is lower case, the
Yes.
lower case. What does it mean?
I mean, as in he, as is I see as the other party. So as for my, by the way, I've already been in teaching for coming to 7 years. All
Mm,
right. I embarked my journey 2011. So
mhm,
it's around 7 years I've been into teaching. And then
mm,
why I go into teaching is because as an art practitioner, right, I always question myself, does art carries a purpose?
mm,
All right. So likewise, so when I go into teaching, it's just when I come to one point in life that I realize that, after learning or acquiring all these knowledges and skills, I cannot bring it to Kubo.
yeah.
Right. So I want to leave a legacy, and that's where I found that there's a purpose that I'm living, and then I
Mhm,
want to share that purpose to people, and then that's where I go into teaching. As for he, it means actually to the students where I encounter, right, or he or she, by the way. But then as for the teaching part, that's why I go into teaching, is that I see teaching as a form of art. I'm not just teaching art, but teaching as a form of art. Then it makes sense to me in the sense because while I do paintings, I do sculpturing, I do ceramics, right? I create installations. So it's more about the process of creating art. And then I see my student as a piece of living art. Then I have to go through that process with them. And I have a group of students that I'm teaching where they are as young as 13 years old, 12
mm,
years old, 12 years to 13 years old. They are contemplating suicide.
mm.
That means they want to bunuh sendiri.
Bunuh diri.
Yeah, bunuh diri. Okay, forgive my
Oh,
bahasa. Okay, so they want to kill themselves because
yes.
they can't cope with studies, they can't cope with the peers, they can't cope with life. So they don't see the purpose in study because today's
Yes.
topic is about teaching, right? So they don't see that purpose. And then
Mm,
because Singapore, their
mm,
education system is, I think, very different. Where I went to London when I took up my art psychotherapy. So when I see the school there, the teaching system and culture is totally different from Southeast Asia. All right. So as young, that's why as young as 12 years old, 13 years old, even 14 above, they
mhm,
when they don't find the purpose of learning. It's not because of the school. It's more on they lost the purpose of learning. So some student of mine even question their parents, what is the purpose you send me to school? Right?
mhm,
I have a student who is coming to the year end of graduations, and
mm,
then during that year he wanted to stop schooling. because the parents sent him to study accountancy. Then he tell the mother that, why are you sending me to, why I want to stop school? Because I don't want to waste your money, and you send me to study accountancy, which I do not want to be an accountant.
I
So it
see.
makes sense. Nowadays, the young
Makes sense, yes.
generations, they will talk logic. They talk sense. Why you send me to a school where it's just as you send me to study law, but I do not want to become a lawyer. So I don't want to waste your money. And how much more I
True.
don't want to waste your time, and also I don't want to waste my time. You see?
Yes.
So now you can see from here, these instances, I see that now the young one, they don't think like my time, our parents ask me to study, I study. If you don't want to study, right, you get caned, that's all. But nowadays,
Now young people, they have, what is it? They have their own sense, right?
and then that's where when the mother brought him to me, the mother was like almost crying, why now can you help my son because he's going through this cycle of confusion. All right. So you know what I told the mother? I said that he is not partly to be blamed if he voice out like that. Okay, because he's spelling up the logics in life. He's spelling up something that is pragmatic. Okay, so I say the parents, I think as a mother, I think you are partly to be blamed also because you are sending him to top school, so he know how to do his math. So and if he knows how to do his math, that's where he start to reason. He know how to calculate. That's why he'll come to tell you that I don't see the point in studying because I don't want to be an accountant. So that's where he started to join my class. Then through art, I help him to kind of self-discover, discover himself, what he's actually good at. And now he went through his graduation. He's graduated. Yeah. That year he graduated. That means I journey with him. He graduated, and then during after his graduation, I prepare him for as for his next lap of after graduations. So then he asked me, okay, what comes after next? Then that's where we start to plan. And while in the course of doing art, he discovered that he actually liked to do something that he always wanted to do, and that which is to create. So that's where I help him to see to discover what is the purpose of being an artist a lot. So that's where he kind of like got the enlightenment, and then now he's in art school. He's doing his second year in art.
He follows his heart then.
So for I think in many cases where I have students, right? I think for today because maybe I'm speaking to quite a number of gurus here, right? All the gurus, right? Or ibu or gurus. So there will come a time where student will voice out like that, right? So what do we look at as a teacher? I will not question everyone, but I will always question myself. If my student were to question me like this, what am I going to tell them? You see? So I will tell them that I will use my life as an example. All right. Because in Singapore, to be very honest, to become a full-time artist is never an easy job. And I've survived 8 years and still going on. All right. I thank God for that. Okay. So I will kind of paint. Actually, when students have questions like this, it's just that they don't have a clear picture in their mind. So I paint the picture in their mind. So I will not be what they call it, be demanding or being commanding, or you should do this, you should do that. Last time where my mother taught me, if you don't study hard, you're going to work hard. you know, you won't get a good life. So that is what my parents told me last time. Okay, but no one tells me that, you know, whatever you do, right, you are good at it, and we are proud of you. Ah,
That's
because in a
interesting.
class, right, because I teach in local school also, right, the
Bubbles.
school will send all those trouble kids.
Oh,
I always go for all,
trouble kids like what?
yeah, like the trouble kids, like when you first lesson, when you talk to them, they will always want to be on their phone. I think this is number one addiction. This is a phone, right? Even you will talk to them right now, as you turn your back, they will take out their phone, right? And they start texting one another, correct? So the school will send. I will ask the school to send me student like this. I want student like this. Okay, because these are the students that need someone to give a pat on the shoulder, someone to give a hug,
Yeah.
because the parents don't tell them, I am proud of you,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though you do not do well.
Okay.
Because that's where I remember I failed my primary four. My primary four, I failed. And that year when I failed, I felt so guilty, where I felt so self-condemned. All right. I don't feel like going home. So because I'm worried that I would get caned. Then because when I went home, my mother caned me. All right. She caned me, she say, Rabak, really give me all out. But my dad came out from the room, right? He stopped my mom from caning me, and he brought me to the other corner of the house, and this is what my dad told me. That year I failed my primary four. Okay, I have 39 students in the class, right? And I got the second. That means I got 38. That's why I got caned. But my dad brought me to another side of the house, and then he kind of hold my shoulder, and this is what he said to me. He said, "Yes, you may fail this time, this year, but son, remember, you are not a failure. All right, I'm proud of you as long as you do your best." This word only, this is what my father said to me. All right. And the following year, during my
Yeah.
primary four, I got third in school.
Wow.
That means from the last number two in class, I got third highest
You
score
got
in school.
going down.
So
Okay.
from this experience, I learned that there is really a power where, you know, we tell our students that I am proud of you, or
Yeah.
I believe in you. And
It's
this
like
is
an
what
affection.
all my students in class will never miss, because my student come, right? The boy student come, they will hug me because I practice this. And my students come, right? I will always tell them, like we always motivate our student, keep it up, you know, right? Do it better. But I don't tell them that. Instead, I tell them that I believe in you and I have faith in you, and you can do it. And
It's like,
true
yeah,
enough, all my student passes.
it's
And
a magic word, very magic word for
yes,
them.
and then not only that, I also counsel my students' parents. In fact, I counsel my parents more than I counsel my student.
Oh yeah, actually,
Ah, okay.
true, right,
Because
right.
I have students who I have students who refuse to talk to their parents.
Yeah.
And then the parents will come to me and, you know, why, Cikgu, why my son seems to talk to you more and tell you more things than they tell me. You know, so that's where I have to counsel the parents more than I counsel my student. because that's where I help them to see that the first question I'll ask the parents is that how long have you not hugged your son or your daughter? You know, and I make them do that. And the moment the parents hug the children, you're right, you can see the mother's tears start flowing without words. You know, the mother Ibu start, you know, tearing.
Right.
And then the son, you can see, initially was very quiet, right? He starts, you can see he's like, he melts like ice kacang. So he melts like ice without saying anything. So such simple act of a pat on the shoulder or a warm hug, it makes a lot of difference, right? So this has been in my teaching syllabus. So I inculcate these values to my students and can see the result is progressively getting better and better. Even the parents are shocked. Okay, then I will list down why if a student do not want to talk to me. It's not the matter of the student. I think it's the matter of myself, right? Because I may not be approachable. I've been to teach in school where the discipline master will tell their student to be serious, right? Okay, of course, school have to practice this, but I told them that I don't need that, you know, I just need the attentions, that the respect to be earned. So I don't demand from them, but I will earn from them. Because if the student can be very serious in front of you, but they are not approachable, because why they kind of isolate themselves. That's why students also isolate from parents, right? You can see some. It's actually quite rampant or very clear in now these generations, where the children do not want to talk to the parents. If the parents were to touch the children, how's today? Okay, bagus. Sudah makan? Sudah. That's all. What's any homework? The parents first thing, ada homework dah? So they always talk about this. That's where the children will shun, because that's what they think the parents are good at. Okay, so that's where I change the other way around, all right, to get them connected, and then get the parents become more approachable, and that's where I see
To the
results.
children.
Yeah, I think you all you teachers, I think, have better experience than me. Okay. But the difference for my teaching is that, as I mentioned just now, is more seeing every students individually as my what do you call it, as my sculpture. So we treat every piece of art differently.
So they're parts of your art
Yes,
creation.
yes. So they are part of my artwork, right?
Yeah, your artwork.
Correct.
Yeah.
Some are more
Right,
stubborn.
right.
Some are
Yes.
not approachable. Some students don't like to talk.
Mm,
Some students very noisy.
yes.
Right. Some
Very
students,
demanding.
yeah, very demanding, right? But that, like, as a cikgu, I think you know, if I
Yes.
list out all the negative, I think if I request that, you know, all the teachers list out all the negative about the student, I think the chat group will be flooded, right? But look at the other way around. If I ask the teacher to list out every individual student, what are they good at? So
That's so
this is what,
interesting.
yeah, because when the mother or the father brought the kids to me, right, the first thing they'll tell me that, hey, Cikgu, I tell you first, my son is, you know, then I will stop them. You're right.
As if they know, but actually not
Yeah,
really,
and
right?
then they will tell you, right, okay, my son is always on the phone.
Also on the phone.
My son always don't want to do homework. Have to every day ask them to press them to do homework, right? Tak mau mandi, right? Tak mau makan. They will tell you all these negative things,
Yes.
right? But I've stopped them. You know what I'll tell them? Name me 5 things or 3 things they
Mhm.
are good at.
They
You
don't
know,
know.
and then they start to then
Think.
immediately I'll tell them, "Teh, you fail already." The immediate failure. Because you can name me 10 things negative of your son, but you can't even name one thing
One thing.
good about your son,
Yes.
you know.
The
So
positive things
yeah,
also.
so I asked them to rephrase the whole thinking, reprogram the whole thinking.
Yeah.
So when they start to reprogram, then they start to look at the strength of the son or the children.
Mhm.
Then they will start to appreciate the children, and then the children will, of course, improve. How can the children be improve if every day were to go back home and the father or the mother will keep telling them, you know, can you don't play on the phone? Can you do this? Can you do that? It's all about fulfilling, right? It's not about what they can achieve in life. So that's a big struggle. I think it's quite common in I think in the world right now, where
Yeah.
right, especially the phone,
Mhm.
so this is what happened. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
it.
saw the chat,
Mm.
by Miss Siti. Yeah,
Mm.
she
Oh
asked me,
yes.
I'm a volunteer at prison. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Volunteer.
Maybe you are curious, why I volunteer as a prison artist mentor. I'm an artist mentor for prison, and I'm
Is it the
also
the for the kids or the adults?
no, it's for men's prison.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's in the Singapore. It's in the Singapore.
Yeah, it's in Singapore.
All
Uh-huh.
right. All right.
Okay, I volunteered almost 7 years in prison as an artist mentor.
Mm.
Okay, because prison also has an art club.
Art club
Yeah, so every year we will have this yellow ribbon
exhibition. Oh,
art exhibition.
also yellow art is for the prison people
Yes,
like that.
yes.
Oh, okay.
So when you just now when you read about my CVs when I
Yes.
started 2011, okay,
Mm.
uh-huh, okay. Actually, I actually spent my last one was I spent 10 years in prison.
Now, as the teacher,
No, I
the
served.
volunteer.
No, I served inside prison. That is because of drug abuse.
All right.
Okay, so throughout
You
my
don't mind
whole
to tell us about it? Is it
no,
okay
no,
for you?
I'm
It
okay.
was okay? Oh, all
Yes,
right.
yes, yes. I have to be true to everyone. Lest you think
Mm.
that wow, this Chegu is with high qualification. No, actually, I spent almost 20 over years behind bars.
All right.
Yeah, at the age of 13, I went into I start to go into prison.
What?
At the age of 13,
Age
13.
of 13.
Yes, I was arrested for crime, then went in, so in and out, in and out. So total, I've been incarcerated for 11 times.
11. Oh, okay.
So that's
Very
why I was
interesting.
20 over years behind bars. Okay,
Mm.
and then how I pick up my life was that this in prison we have this yellow ribbon art competition.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was there, so I go and join the art competition.
Competition.
Hmm.
Art competition.
Sekali, I dapat award.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
got
get the
an
reward.
award. Yes, then the
Mm-hmm.
prison sent me for the basic art course.
Mm.
Okay, that's where I started my
But
art.
still inside the
Yes,
prison.
inside prison. So I came out 2015.
Mm-hmm.
2015, I came out from prison. Then 2016, I went into prison and teach art.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's very interesting. Life journey, just like Ibu Rahayu said, an
Yeah,
incredible life journey. Yeah.
also
So
malu
that's
lah.
why you know how to, what is it? To inspire your student, right?
Yes,
To so you know also how to talk to the teacher because you use your own what is it, your own experience, and then yeah, it's so that it can help you to guide your
I think,
students.
yes, thank you for that. I think the best textbook I can teach is
Mm,
my life,
yes.
right? Because my life is the best textbook.
Mm,
I think likewise for all the cikgus here, I think we
yeah.
also have our life experience, right?
Mm,
As I think so, I think many are mothers here. You encounter
mm,
your children also, right?
yeah.
Some children are like more. I will not say naughty, but they have a set of mind of their own, right? But
Mm.
we can't blame them for that. Why they are so outspoken nowadays? Because,
Oh,
right?
is
Because
it?
the education, what do you call it, has improved, and then the social media, of course, also improved, right? In
Mm.
Singapore, most of our school use iPad
Yes.
textbook.
Oh, yeah. I'm
So
so.
all the most of the student actually has an iPad given by school.
Yeah. Right.
Ah,
Okay.
so the iPad is their textbook.
Hmm.
So they do their
Mm.
homework, they do their assignment. It's all in the iPad.
In the iPad. Yes.
So you cannot deny that, they are very social media connected,
Mm. True. True.
right? And social media connected, that's where a lot of informations that they will have, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And then
easier for them to absorb the information from out, right?
yes, yes, and
Mm.
then they will do their research and get their informations, and that's
Yeah.
where when we talk about getting informations through the website, so you can see that their mindset has start to be kind of influence also,
Mm-hmm.
right? Influence. I have students who come to me and tell
Yeah.
me that Cikgu, she's
Mm.
a female student, perempuan, right? Only 14 years old.
Mm.
Okay, one day I ask her to paint, all right, and I don't give her subject. I say you choose what you want to paint. And then
Mm.
when she paint, she just use color and paint the color on the canvas,
Mm.
no subject. And then when I
Mm.
look at the colors, then I find that, wow, the color resembles something. So I ask her,
Mm.
why you paint this color?
Mm.
Why not other colors?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then later she came to me and she tell me that, Cikgu, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I'm a non-binary. Okay, non-binary means she felt that she bukan perempuan, also bukan laki.
Mm.
14 years old.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. So she came to me, Cikgu, I felt that I'm a non-binary. So then I have to get her aside, then I start to talk to her.
Mm.
Then I ask her, have you ever have feelings for your school friend who are male friends?
Mm.
And she say yes. Then if it's yes, then you are not.
Oh,
What makes you
okay.
think like that? What
Mm.
makes you think like that? Then later on, I found out that she came to, confess. She showed me now we have this Telegram, right?
Oh, Telegram, yes.
Yeah, so she was invited by her school friend to join
Mm.
this Telegram group. So this
Mm.
group actually is a non-binary group or the
Mm.
LGBT group.
The LGBT group,
So
right?
that's where she start to get confused because in the group,
Mm.
people start sharing YouTube information, yeah, YouTube bloggers talk about the identity issues. Then that's where she got confused.
Yeah.
Okay. But then after that session, I spoke to the mother. I said because she's a pompuan, right?
Mhm.
I say it is best that as a mother you should, you know, have a good talk with her. But after that session, okay, she start to, you can see her now, she start to keep her long hair more, more like, more feminine back to
Girl,
herself. Because of
more
that, then
feminine.
ask her to leave the chat group. Okay, I have student where wanted to commit suicide. Okay, same thing. It's also
Suicide?
because commit suicide, bunuh diri, right? Also in the
Yeah,
chat group.
suicide.
Then the chat group is always talking about how to die faster. Don't be surprised.
Oh, all
Uh-huh.
right.
How to
What an
die
inspiration.
faster. So there are in a lot of all these informations going off, and then it was not noticed by the parents.
Mhm.
Because when the parents sent her to me, right?
Yes.
First, when I talk to her, she don't talk. It took me
Uh,
more than a year to get her start to talk.
what does it mean? She doesn't talk at all, or
Like now, if
she,
you're asking me a question, I will just nod my head. Do you understand what I'm talking? You know
oh,
this? Yes.
oh, I see.
Do you know
Just
what to do?
nodding the head.
Yeah, only
Yeah.
nodding head. It
Oh,
took
all
me a
right.
while to get her to start to open up. And then when she start to open up, that's where I get to know that, in school they tend to have best friend, right? Or good friend. So the good friend is the one who introduced her to this. And then because the good friend has family issue, so she
Mm-hmm.
always find that you know it's better to leave this world than to go through the suffering.
Oh,
At the age of only 13 years old.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so
There's the
these are
teenagers
the
thing.
things that I will look for, that this telltale sign that then later we start to talk, then I found out that it is through her friend. All right, and
Mm-hmm.
then I advised her, and then true enough, she cut off her friend, and now she's back in school again, 18 years old already.
Mm.
So I journeyed with her more than 5 years.
Is it, is there, what is it? Do they, the school maybe, they don't like, ban the, what is it, that student cannot, what is it, entering like the link like that? Is that, so I think it's a big influence from the internet because they're using the iPad like you said before, right?
Yes.
And then it's like, what is it? Is it is the school not banning the, what is it, like, something that what is the link that is not proper maybe for the kids to like that,
No, the
or
school
using
does
the
have this. The school does have this.
uh-huh.
Okay,
Yes.
but because all the students have a phone of their own,
Mm, mm, mm.
okay, and then because the phone is so essential in Singapore, right? Not just for adults, I think also for students. Because why? The school will have a group chat, their class group chat, then they will have parents group chat. So the
All right.
cikgus will send all the information in the group chat. So that indirectly this become very essential.
Yeah, very essential.
Because if it's essential, that means it belong to them and they need it, right? But
Mm,
just like
mm.
you buy a chopper, right? All right.
Uh-huh.
You either you let the chopper serve you, or you kill with the chopper. So it's both sides, right? So the phone, I don't think is a bad thing, right? Because it kind of get everyone closer, right? But the other
Mm.
side of it is it also have a bad side where if you do not kind of filter or safeguard,
Yeah.
right, then something
Well,
right infiltrate in, then you kind of like brainwash you and then become an issue in life.
Yeah, it's a big issue because it's just like starting, what is it, guiding the kids like LGBT, right? And
Yes,
then
yes.
also doing the suicide is so, yeah, maybe in Indonesia also we have that, but we don't what is it? We don't really notice about it, and then we don't open it up. But yeah, in other country maybe they open it up because it's,
Mm.
what is it? Is it a big cases or what, sir?
Uh, no, not really. I think it's this is has become an global issue. All right,
Global issue.
global issue till the China in the extent like China. All right,
Mm,
China has treated is now treating
mm,
the mobile phone for student like
mm.
opium.
Oh, all right.
Okay, if you read China history, they have this opium war, right? So
Mm,
it's highly addictive. That's why it's causing a lot of damages in the world, in the China citizens. That's last time, right? That's why
mm,
they have this opium war. So now China is treating this handphone as an opium.
mm.
So every day at least 3 hours, right? The student have to stop from using the phone, and
Oh,
it's a law. It's a law being passed down.
mm.
So they have to
Every three
treat it
hours.
this way. Okay.
Mm.
So they have treated this way. I think I have a question by this Anang. I heard that use of mobile phone in social media in Singapore
Singapore are very
very strictly
strictly
limited.
limited.
Is that right? Ah,
Is it right?
yes.
Yeah, it is.
Right. Okay. Is the mobile phone in Singapore? Yes. Is what kind of like? It's not. See, we it's not really uh non-controllable. Okay.
Mm.
But because nowadays the younger generation, they are so smart. Right.
Yes, true.
They know
Right.
how to go through underground web.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yes, you're right. It happens
Ah,
to my daughter, even though I always change my, what is it, my password for many
password.
times,
Yeah.
then she could detect it. Yeah, you're right.
You
Yes,
see,
they
so
can work
that's where
underground.
you can see that the younger generations, but we can't blame them. All right, you just can't blame them in a sense because uh, of the educations. All right, because our education has been advancing.
Yes, true.
Right.
Like it or
Yeah, you
not,
have
we,
to face it. That is
yes, yes, we have to,
reality.
yes,
Am I right?
yes.
So
They need it.
yeah, and
Not only now, but in the future too, they need it.
yes,
Yes,
and right is they need it. So when
yes.
they need it, as what I say is like it's like a chopper, two-edged side. So
Mm,
it's just that if you use it wisely, then it kind of complemented you. But
mm,
if you use it in a wrong manner, of course, it will
mm.
destroy you. I think
Yeah,
that part
true.
has this is always been one of my teaching point to my younger students.
And yes, yes.
Okay, so of course I
Mm,
will let them know that the ill effect of what do you call it, this social media, all right, and then the right
mm.
informations to collect,
Yeah.
right? Not just all informations, but with my students, I'm really open to share, to hear from them, hear what they have to
Mm,
share. So I'm really open for that because that's
mm.
where I can detect,
Yeah,
right? So normally,
that's true.
yeah, if not, the parents will, if your children will tell the mother, I encounter LGBT website, So
Mm,
what the parents do, never go into this website, they'll tell them do not do it, right? And then
yes.
do not do it, they will do it more.
Yeah, the
Right.
more,
I
yeah,
think
right.
rather to let them see paint the picture clear to them that, and then know that where they stand as in terms of gender. identity, right? I think that's part of education also.
Yeah. Wait,
Uh,
Mr. Gary, here in the chat, we have, what is it? Can we know that what is the first thing you did while started the class? All right. And by the way, if you have 60 in the classroom, wow, 60, how to manage it? Manage the time between sharing about life, something fun, and the main topic we need to teach the day. So the
okay.
students get full learning while we teach them.
Hold on, let me read the question again. Sekejap. Okay. That means
It's
actually
from
60 students. Okay, I
6.
have classes. I've I've conducted classes like this, and the
Mm.
60 children. Mine is 40. I never encountered 60. Okay, mine is 40, and it
40
is the
students.
famous top school in Singapore.
Ah, I see.
Okay, and then not only is it's one of the famous top schools in Singapore, it's also an international school.
Oh,
So in that class I have Taiwanese, I have Russians, I have China, I have Indonesia.
uh,
Okay,
many
I have
people.
students from all over the world. That means it's a mini UN classes. Okay, so how I manage them first is that uh, it's kind of like when I get that project, it was a project that I have to manage with them. So and then they were from different levels in the secondary school. So the
Mm.
school grouped them all together and they throw in
Oh,
class. Okay, so you have the senior one and the junior one. So
in the same class.
how I managed to get that through is that
Mm.
separate them.
Separate them.
Yeah,
Classify? You mean
I don't
classify them?
classify them. I let
Oh,
them choose.
oh, they choose. All right.
All right. So because we are in a project, so I say I need to separate what they call it in the students into compartment. That means I need right. One will do the logistic, the other will do the execution, then the other part, so I separate them. And then
Mm.
I don't choose them. I let them choose. So
Mm.
once when I say okay, you can choose your group, then straight you can see very clear.
Mm.
The Taiwanese will go to the Taiwanese. The
Mm.
China will go to the China. The Indonesians will go to the Indonesians, right? Because of language communications. So
Mm.
from there, I break into 5 groups. So
Mm.
among the five groups, as what I says, I identify their strength. So among the group, there will be
All
students
right.
who are very, very talkative, right? That if
Right.
you tell them, can you stop talking? And then
Uh-uh.
later they will talk more. Then
Yes.
there are students who just don't follow, you give them orders, they just follow your orders. So, all right. So I have students like that in that group. So I separated them, and then I gave them as a carrot and stick. That kind of I use that carrot and stick format. Carrot and stick format because
Mm.
I already broke them into groups. So I told them, okay, I need this group to do this, the other group to do that, right? First, they actually don't really focus until I tell them that if when I conduct the lesson, some will be on their phone, right?
Mm.
So I tell them if you can leave your phone for a while and you focus on this,
Mm.
and after if you can manage to finish in time, so
Mm.
I make my expectation very clear. Okay, that means if
Mm.
you manage to finish in time, right? You can go for your recess. That means you can go early.
Mm.
Yeah, boleh pergi. You can go to your canteen, but you cannot leave
Mm.
school. Okay. So
Yeah.
first, true enough, couple of students they finish in earlier than I expected. So
Mm.
the first day I gave them, okay, since you finish, you can go to your recess.
Recess.
And when I tell them to go, they were so surprised because no teacher has done that to them.
Oh,
Right?
right.
So I tell them you can go for your recess. Then they say, are you sure, Cikgu? Then I say, yes, I mean it. And then when the group left, you can see the dynamic change. All the other groups finish in time. And not only finish in time, and those who finish in time, I doesn't mean that I let them go, right? I will inspect their work.
No.
So I inspected their work, all right. And then some they don't really give me the standard that I want, so I'll tell them. I didn't condemn them. I only tell them that, wow, you have been doing a good job, but I need a better from you. Can you do this for me again, so that you can go off early?
All
And you can
right.
see the whole dynamic changes again.
Right. Yes.
See? So the second
It's very
day,
positive.
yeah. I never say, wow, why you didn't do this? Why you do no? Instead of saying why, or I will ask them, can you do me this? So
Yeah,
that,
true.
so I did not give a command, rather I give a invitation. That means, can you do this after you, so that you can have so they know what is expected from, firstly expected from
True.
me, and then what is expected from them, by them, because they know, oh, if I finish this and I finish it good, I can go for my recess. So I spelled everything very clearly. And then true enough, second day you see the changes, everyone.
Yeah.
Second day I give, okay, day 2, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. Okay. And then it's the same as yesterday. Those who can finish and also give me a good one, all right, then you can have what you, all right, it's the same as yesterday. So the second day, in fact, they finished even faster than I expected,
All
and even
right.
better. So example is a 2-hour session, right? They managed to complete 1 hour, 1 hour. So I
Yeah.
still have one hour left, right? But I cannot let them go 1 hour. So you know what I do? Again, I invite them again. I will tell them, you guys has done a good job, and I'm really very happy and proud of you guys. But what I need from you is, can you do some cleaning for me?
All right.
Make the area clean, make the area clean. Make sure everything is well organized, so that tomorrow when we come for the session, we know where to get our stuff. So that's how I list out the expectation, and then I spell out. Not only I list out, but I also spell out that what you will get from this.
Right.
And then the result is always good for me during that session. Alright. And then managed to get the whole class to be involved, because the last few sessions we need everyone to combine to get to combine to get the sculpture done.
To get the sculpture done.
Yeah, and then we got a good one.
Right.
But after that second year, the school invite me to go again. I don't want to go
Ah.
already.
Oh, by the way, I saw somebody is raising the hand. It's Mr. Permadi, Anton Permadi. Okay, Mr. Anton Permadi, do you want to ask question or you want to share your experience, please? Oh, you want to say it or just
Penitentiaries are associated with crime, brutality.
the dark side of human beings? How does the art help inmates creativity or the art just to kill the time?
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Let me repeat the question.
How do you answer it?
Yeah. How does normally people think that prisons or jail, penitentiaries are associated with crime, brutality, right? Okay. I not only teach art in prison, I'm also a counselor, all right, a religious counselor for the prison. Okay, so for prison, all right, in Singapore, our crime rate is actually not high, all right, but our drug abuse rate is very high. Okay. Our crime rate, of course, is still manageable, but the most what they get in terms of adult numbers are actually the drug. Okay.
The drugs.
Yeah, the drug is a very big issue in Singapore. That's why I was
Right.
one of the drug abuser last time. All right.
Right.
So how does art help inmates' creativity? Yes. In fact, okay, art is very powerful, powerful medium. I would say it's very powerful medium because, firstly, why I say that because art definitely impacted me. Right, that's where I am, and
That's true.
all right, it kind of like helps me to stay grounded, to be thankful in life. All right, I will elaborate a little bit. But how does art help inmates creativity? Actually, art is a medium. All right, it's a medium. It's a very good medium that like there's a saying that a picture means thousand words, right? So sometimes art helps a person that we very hard to speak out words, to put into words. Macam if sometime I do something wrong to someone, right? Okay, especially to our loved ones, we very hard to say I'm sorry. Betul? Huh? Because especially for inmates inside, because when every time what I love about Hari Raya, right?
Hari Raya.
The minta maaf, correct. So I would, I'll help them to paint that picture again. You know, to them it's very hard to minta maaf because why? Berapa kali sudah masuk inside? So for them it's very hard to utter the words. Okay? So art helps them to speak the words that they all the while is hidden inside them. You see? Sometimes is during riot time, right? You want to minta maaf, but in Singapore, they during holiday no visit. The family can visit. So they want to say sorry, very difficult, And then especially there are many times where they have hurt the family, all right? So it's very hard to utter the words. But art does help them, okay? Art does help them to give them the opportunity to paint words into a painting. So art has this power. And then how does art helps in image creativity? Actually, everyone is creative. Okay, everyone in fact is creative. It's just that how creative or how we use that creative and put into creativity into good use. I think that matters. That's why people will start to all this a lot of many kind of designer drugs nowadays. Designer drugs, I say, actually are created by people who has what do you call it, degree in making cocktails or medicine. That's where I've when I was inside prison, I have my roommates. Okay, I have a room who who is a big time drug lord, international drug lord. Okay,
Oh.
trafficker. So when I ask him, what are you going to do after your serving time, right? Where you make so much money from drug, are you going to retire? You know what he tell? He was during that time he was in his late 60s, over 70 years old. You know what he tell me? He says, I'm going to use the money. I'm going to use the money. I'm going to employ, all right, pharmacists. Pharmacists to make over
The,
so that I can sell more.
Mm-mm.
You see, and then who are the one who makes all this? Actually, they are the educated one.
Mm.
You see, so actually you can see the inmates actually people inside. They are actually creative. They are very creative, and then what makes them so creative is that they have the I would say they are creative because they have the luxury of time, too much time that they have, so they start to become creative. For us, I think for all the cegus, right, time like not enough, betul. Morning you have to attend your class, you have the student, then you have CCA, you have school meetings, you have to parents meeting, then after that
Mm.
attend to your family. So like
Mm.
time is not enough, right?
Yes,
But prisoner has a long time. They have time.
they have time, right?
Yeah, so when I go in to mentor them, I would teach them how to make use of the time to create new things.
Mm.
Because then before they I help them to see how to turn creativity into good use, right? I will paint a picture to see what have they destroy.
Mm.
Because to create, the opposite is destroy, right?
Yeah.
So I have to paint this picture and let them see what they have been destroying. So
Mm.
from there, then they will start to realize, oh, I have destroyed the relationship with my parents, my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
I have destroyed, the relationship with God, right? I have
Mm-hmm.
destroyed my health. I have destroyed the trust. I have destroyed my dignity as a human.
Mm.
So that's where when they start to see this, then I'll help them to paint a painting in their mind that they will see that, okay, sekarang now you are alive, right? Okay,
Yes.
Allah give you a chance to live. What do you want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
create? Or do you want to destroy? So they start to make their own decision. That's where they start to become creative, and then so
Mm.
that they will learn how to not destroy,
Mm.
into put their creative into good
Put the
use.
creativity first, yeah. Building, what is it, the concept in their mind, right? The mind
Yes,
like
yes,
that, because, become the prison, in prison, it's like not easy from them, or for them too, right?
yes.
So it's just like, well, you're trying to build up their mind, their concept, so that, yeah, that's
Uh,
great. And
and
then, sir, in the prison,
yeah,
they, what is it? Do they have the activities like going to school like that? I'm
yeah,
sorry, I don't.
yes, yes. Singapore, we have a prison schools.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, I have friends. There are quite a number of cases, right, who are
Mm.
criminals and they become lawyers. They become entrepreneurs
Oh,
and they
so,
become counselors. We have a lot. I have a lot of my groups are a lot who are big time criminals. Okay, violent people,
oh.
and they become counselors, and now they are very gentle. Some are very religious. I have
Mm-mm.
I have friends who become ustads.
You start, all right.
Yes, I have friends who become ustads,
Mm-mm.
and they were my
Ah,
roommates. And
mm-mm.
because inside prison, they are allowed to doa, they are allowed to baca, they are allowed to sembahyang also.
Mm-mm.
And they are
Oh,
in my
okay.
rooms.
So it's like, what is it? The prison preparing them when they go out from the, the
Yeah.
prison, so that, yeah,
So
right, they
that,
can,
yeah, it's a very good way of seeing. Depends on which angle that you look at. All right. If you look at it
mm,
as a point that they are they are useless, they are, you know, pest to the society, right? That's what, if the society are looking at them at this way, right, and they will look at themselves like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Right, right.
But if
Betul, betul.
there's someone who goes in and tell them that I believe in you, right? I know that you can change, right? And I believe that you have what it takes to to create again. Then you will see lives also change. But of course, there are people who choose to relapse and go back again. But at least they fight again, you know, and they still fighting again with the lives, and they still want to be law-abiding citizens, and they want to contribute to society as well. And that's where
Yes, yes, that's
in
true.
Singapore we have quite a big group of ex-prisoner become entrepreneur. We also have lawyers. Okay, they
Right.
inside
So they
prison,
have the opportunities,
they go to
right?
scholar, they go inside scholar. So they get their N level, level, A levels, then they come out, they get their degree.
Yes.
Sekarang I have my good friend, is my last time is my good friend, also is the someone that, you know, sells me drug. Sekarang he's pursuing his master degree in counseling. He's
Oh,
pursuing his
yeah,
second
yeah,
master
yeah.
degree. It's not one degree, it's his second degree.
Second marriage, second.
There are few cases like
Okay.
this. So that's where, as what I say, you know, in a group of our students example, right, there will be some group that you find that, this one, they cannot study, you know, they are no good. But who are we to say that they are no good? Because one day turn out and tell, right, and come to you, come to school and tell you, Ibu, I make it in life, terima kasih, last time you know, you scold me, sekarang terima kasih, I'm very thankful, you know. We do not know, but
How do you feel when somebody coming back to you and then say thank you,
yeah, I
Cigu?
have, yeah, I have, you know, I'm very thankful. I know that means I I first I thank God for that. I hug them also, and I'm very thankful that, you know, that they are making it in life. Right? But of course there will be other students who are still struggling. Okay, there will be, right. So depends on how you look at. So if you think that, oh, these students never make it, you know, in my teaching I tell my students, there is no students beyond or cannot be taught. There's no student that cannot be taught. It's only a
Because of
cikgu
the personality
don't know
or
how to teach. Okay? Bukan student cannot be taught. That means all student can be taught. Okay? The
yeah,
only
right.
thing is the cikgu don't know how to teach.
Yes, but the problem is not the problem is not from inside of our student, but it's from us, the teacher,
Yes,
right?
this is how I look at it.
Yeah.
This is how I look at it, all right? So I tell my student, if you don't learn well, that means cikgu sendiri, I fail, not you
Yeah.
fail, you know.
Yeah,
Then
we
I
have to check
bring
ourselves.
the whole, I change the scenario that they see, oh, then you know, they will tell me, Aya, cikgu, this is not you, it's because of me. I say, no, no student is beyond, right, being taught.
Right.
It's the cikgu that fail. That means I fail, not you fail. Wow, then you see, they change.
Right. And so
Ah,
inspiration, what's it? It's try we are in what is it? Giving inspiration for them, right?
all right, because I think you can tell that many, when the student go back, right, that's why I say, you go and ask their parents, right, tell me about your children. 10 things they will tell you all negative one, right? Tak mau sekolah lah, tak mau
Yeah,
mandi lah, pagi panggil dia pergi school mah susah lah, right? They'll tell you all this. But if you tell them, can you tell me about 3 things about good about them? So I look at
Mm-mm.
the good. I look at the strength. You see? I look at the strength. So I work on the strength. And it works. To me,
Very
so
good
far, I
answer.
try it works. But of course, some students take longer time. All right.
Right.
Like today, I have classes also. Right. I just completed my class. I just ended my class before this Zoom started.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So today, I have autistic student. I have
46 students.
autistic. I have ADHD student.
Autistic. All right.
Yeah. Oh, I have ADHD. Same. The parents, all right. So when I have these students, right, I get the parents to paint with them
Mm.
because the parents also need to be counseled. The parents also need healing, man. Because every day have to jaga the children like that.
Yeah,
They
facing that
also,
kind of kid.
right, instead of looking at the children as special needs, right, I get them to sit together, right, then do together. So then the parents will not see, they see the children as also a piece of art, and they become more patient. All right. So this I teach in various areas. So depends on the student strength, and also depends on the situations as well.
All right.
Mm.
All right. We also have here questions in the chat box. For those good and bad impacts of using mobile phone or social media in school, what is your suggestion for this problem?
Okay. For those good and bad impacts of using it. Okay, let's face reality, right? Because we cannot 24 hours become police to jaga them, right? Right, correct or not? So we have to
Correct.
understand that fact first, right? We cannot play angel, macam, oh, I can stop. If I can stop, of course I will stop, but we can't. So first we have to accept the reality that this is something that is very essential right now at these days, at this age, right? So instead of stopping them, right? Yeah, I say it again, you have to educate them. The parents, of course, have a part to play. Right? In Singapore, there are parents who set timer. Because the parents pay for the data. So the parents set timer. Of course, there is practice like this. I have students where the parents set timing.
Timing for them.
That means sampai pukul 9, alright, night time before bedtime.
You can use the phone like that.
No, you have to surrender your phone.
The data.
So the
Oh,
parents will lock the phone.
Mm.
Okay, that means that's bedtime, right? Then of course, during homework time, of course they use their phone. But in some cases, right, I allow them to use a phone because some children they respond to they respond to audio. They are sensitive to audio.
Oh, for the
Okay.
music.
So we have, like as I mentioned, I identify my student strength. So as much as I identify the strength, I also identify their sensitivity. Okay, sensitivity. Some student they learn faster when they have visuals.
Yeah.
Okay, they have visuals, they learn faster. So they need to see something, some
I see
movement,
something.
or they see from a screen, they learn faster. Okay, so some students they respond and learn faster when they have audio. That means I have students who listen to music, all right, listen to music and they do their homework,
Yeah.
right? But the
Yeah.
parents cannot accept. You see? So the
Right.
parents tell me, I say, okay,
Right.
then I identify with the parents. I say, okay, why not you try this? You take away the phone and you see
Yeah.
whether your kids can respond. Immediately, when he took away the phone, the children reacted and kind of
Yeah.
shut down, and then it stops all the response. You see? But I told them, okay, why not? Because the children is very sensitive to audio. Dia mesti mau dengar apa? Bukan music, must have sound.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if they do a
Yeah.
homework, macam if they do homework at home, right? They do homework at home, and you don't let them have the phone, then once in 15 or 10 minutes, you call out the name. Call out the name.
Mhm.
Macam if you are in the kitchen, right? You call out the name. How's
Mhm.
everything? Right? Do you want some food? Do you want some
Uh,
drink? So there's some
uh,
sound. You see, because they are sensitive to sound. And then it kind of work also. It kind of work. There's some are more sensitive to touch. Touch. That's why you will see
oh,
when they do homework, their hand must do something one.
physical touch. Right? Yeah.
They need to have some touch. So I have students where they do their homework in my studio, they will have something.
Uh,
So they will
yeah.
grab something.
Or
Ah,
grab, right?
yes,
Squat, squeeze
correct.
like that.
So
Squeezing.
they
Right.
because they
Right.
are sensitive to that. So those parents who do
Right.
not know, they think that why must you hold something when you are doing your homework? You see?
Mm.
So when I help them to identify this sensitivity, right? And it kind of it works. They can sit for 5 6 hours even without going toilet.
Mm.
Surprising.
Mm.
Okay, they can
Yeah. That
sit
makes
in
them
the
focus.
yes,
Yeah,
they
I
very
know.
focused, but their hand like to move.
Yes. Right. Right.
Okay, until some of the cases I have to stop them, That means they have been sitting there for 4 hours, 3 hours. Then I stop them. Stop them what? Ask them to take a break, go and drink something, or I get food for them.
Mm.
Then we continue again. Okay, so
Mm.
not just identify their strength, but for me, I also identify their sensitivity.
Yeah. The behavior, right?
Yes, yes.
The habit when they're doing the what is it
Uh,
when they learn.
But
Right,
uh,
right, right.
but in school sometimes they don't have the luxury because right in a classroom they
Yeah.
can't have that. You see, so
Mm.
that's why it's a bit challenging for teachers, especially you're dealing with 60s in a class,
Yes, right.
right?
That's
Especially,
much right, correct.
especially when you
Mm.
have 60s in a class. So that's what uh is better for me. I think is to identify their strength rather than to look at their weakness. So if you
Mm.
understand the strength, that means the strength also
Mm.
includes of their sensitivity. So you know that okay, these students are more like that, or this another students are more towards the sound. Then once in a while where they are doing their work, well, go next to them, start to talk to them.
Mm.
Actually, they
Yeah.
can focus. When you talk to
Mm.
them, they can multitask. If
Mm.
you put them in a room and quiet down, they cannot. So they need to have
Mm.
sound. So some are like that. So these are through my experience, but
Mm.
it's not one what they call one formula fits all. I can't say that.
Mm.
All right, it depends on the individual teachers.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, what is it from what you're saying? What is it? You use a lot of approaches to meet your students. What is it for to meet your student? Like, you use the approaches like maybe the love languages, right?
Yeah, the love
You the love
languages.
languages, the affection, right? And then you also use the approaches like maybe like what do we call it? like knowing them, they are whether they are visual or whether they are like tactile like that. So
Mm,
you use a lot. So that is we also we need to use a lot of approaches to so that the student can meet, right? They
yes.
can meet their succeed like that. Okay, we have another questions here, I think. Right, wait, where is it? Oh,
Mm.
what do you think about the usage of Chat GPT or other IA in school? All right.
Okay. I think nowadays like for Chat GPT AI, right? I think it's not a bad idea, all right? For me personally, because once in a while I also use Chat GPT. In fact, 2 days ago I was talking to another. In fact, last night only, we were talking to one of the school discipline master, my friend.
Mhm,
Okay, he
mhm,
also uses that to reply email.
mhm,
Okay, I think this part as what I mentioned to Ninek, is it? Okay,
mhm,
we have to first accept that this is real in the future. All right, augmented reality is real. AI is going to be very real, right? We cannot deny
mhm,
the fact it's going to take on the world by storm. In fact, it's already started. Okay, uh, whether you say what I think about usage, as I mentioned, it's good in a sense if you know how to utilize it.
mhm,
Okay, so my student also use Chat GPT. Okay, but
mhm,
when they have the Chat GPT, right? So they cut and paste. Am I right? So then I tell them do restructure the whole thing because I says that the GPT can write for you, but is that what you feel that you're writing about?
mhm,
Yeah? Then some part that you can utilize it, but it's a very good subject. Like how here in the question it says, how can we utilize it in class, right? So Chat GPT is in fact it kind of like sometimes I tell my student to paint something, they cannot visualize it. You see, because not everyone think
mhm.
like Cikgu also. Because
Yeah.
Cikgu, you Cikgu knows. But if I'm your student, I don't know what you are thinking about. What's your expectation, right? So
Mhm,
you give me a subject, okay, write the composition about art.
mhm,
But how am I going to write about composition about art? So ChatGPT is a good tool to help them to lead them in.
mhm,
So when they have this ChatGPT, more or less they give the description, right? But
mhm.
I will tell them, okay, now you restructure everything based on your composition because they have a reference.
Oh.
Alright. There's a reference where I think it kind of help the cikgu also.
Mhm,
Save your time to explain to them what one by one, right?
mhm,
So you have a chat GPT as a tool. I think, okay, we have this chat GPT. This is the answer given by chat GPT,
mhm,
right? So they have a reference and then they have a pointers and they have an idea how to start to restructure the whole sentences, restructure the composition, and then also restructure what is in their mind, so then they can express it. I think it's a good tools but of course, as you say, usage of it, as I mentioned, there always the phone is good, right? Okay, be very frank,
mm,
but sometimes the phone become what? It become a tool that now the parents are in the makan. You see at the dinner at home,
mm. Addicted.
everyone don't talk already, right? Everyone start
Mm,
using the phone.
yeah.
You see, everyone start using, even if you are sitting opposite me, I don't even talk to you, I text you.
Yeah.
You see,
It's
so if
like an
you
Addicted, being addicted.
So where it's a very good word that you have used. All right, addiction, huh? Right. Then who is to blame the addiction?
Yeah.
Like same, my students' parents also the same. My children are addicted to phone. So first thing, you know what I ask? When he was young, he was
Mm,
crying in McDonald's. What do? You put a phone in front,
giving the phone. Yes.
right? And
Yes.
he don't want to makan. You put what?
Makan using
A
the
phone
phone.
in, right? He is
Yes.
crying. You put a phone.
Crying phone.
He don't want to sleep. You put a phone. Let him sing some
Yes.
song. Then you take away.
Mm.
So who is the one who, or I say, who's the culprit who feed the addiction?
Yes.
Am
Oh,
I
I
right?
did it.
Is it
I
true?
did it too. Yes, that's true. I
Thank
did
you
it
for
too,
being
right?
honest. Right. So
So
is it
just like
true?
make her calm down. I just put the
Yeah.
iPad in front of her. So
Yeah.
watch,
So you can do
right?
your marking, you can do
Yeah.
your cooking, right, in
No,
peace.
right,
All right. And
right.
then because they are so connected, so we can't
Mm-hmm.
blame them. You see?
Yeah, it's
But
true.
so how to get them to withdraw the phone? You can't
Mm-hmm.
because they have been fed since young,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the
Mm-hmm.
only thing is we have to direct them how to
So the
use.
problem is not from it's not the kids, right? Most of
Yes,
them is the problem is us, the adults. The problem is us, the adults, not the kids actually. Right,
right.
right.
You know, right. It's that's why it's a global problem because we
Uh-uh.
not that the mother or the parents wants to do that. We have to understand
Mm-mm.
because just like you, right? Example, you have to cook, right?
Yeah,
You have
right.
to look at yeah,
Correction.
you have to do correction. You have to jaga ni. You have to jaga, right? Then if you have elder at
Mm,
home, you have to jaga elder. Then Hari Raya coming,
mm,
you have to jaga all the necessary thing to prepare Hari Raya. So do
all
you think you have spare
right.
time? If the children keep crying, the best method is this.
It is like putting the phone, putting the pad,
You put this,
the
everything
tablet,
stop, right? No
right?
noise, no noise, right? You
No
can
way.
focus. Am I right to say that?
Yeah.
So we
Right.
can't get the addiction out from them already. But we
Yeah, we
can.
started it. Yeah,
Yes,
the adults started it.
right. And then what happened in the adult world, right? During dinner, after makan, you start looking at the phone.
Yes.
All right.
We give the example. The adults give the
Yeah.
example. So
All right.
don't
So
blame the kids, right?
yeah.
Right.
That's what I tell the parents, right? Because they are being fed with the medicine since young.
Mm-mm.
You see, they are being fed with the visual medicine. That's why they
Yes.
get addicted. And then now
Mm,
they get
right.
addicted. You don't think of getting them to go through the withdrawal. They will react.
Mm,
You see, but you go through with them how to utilize it.
mm,
You know, what is the
mm,
proper manner you can do during dinner time? Please, no phone. Ah,
mm,
just for that moment. Not telling them, you cannot have phone during makan. Tak bagus.
mm,
No, not like that. I will educate
mm,
them. Why we don't use phone during that time is to give a respect. So we educate them. So if
mm,
you are in a meeting, then you know what is not supposed to be in on the during the meeting. So that they are being educated, and then they have a clear
mm.
picture. That's what is we can do. All right. So go back to the question. All right, the
We have
usage.
the question here.
Ah,
Mm, okay. We continue with the question. Okay,
okay.
here we have from Miss Dita Ayudianti. Hello, Mr. Berrio. I have a student who loves to draw, and sometimes she did it during the lessons, and it was distracting. Now, do you have any strategy in all right? Oh, it happens too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
many times. Yeah.
Then I
Okay.
think the strategy is maybe the Chegu is boring. I'm just kidding. Okay. It's not okay. It's not. It's just that the students, right, when example I'm talking to you, I'm scribbling something. It's what I
Yes.
told you, right? They are sensitive to something. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that they
It's the
want
one
to.
that you told actually, right?
Yes, yes. It's
Yeah,
not that
using screen things.
they just want to, draw and like
Yeah,
to
right.
you, to us cikgu, we tell ini macam tak ada pay attention ni.
Kita ada pattern. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
tak ada respect your cikgu. I'm a cikgu talking, but you are like that, But I don't do that. For me, I'm saying sorry. I don't do that. I allow them to express. Because when they doodle something, right, sometimes you
They
will
do
see
the.
something in their drawing.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes they are crying, where they cannot talk. But sometimes it's out of they're boring.
It is boring, right? Correct.
Ni cikgu repeat and repeat the same.
Gila.
Right. So some they think like that. All right. Maybe I say maybe possible. Another possibility is because they are sensitive. They need to do something. Okay. There are some students, I think maybe you encounter, they cannot sit still.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So they may have some sense of some level of ADHD. That's why they cannot focus. Not that they cannot focus. They can focus, but they can only focus 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay. When I conduct lessons for students like this, right? When they come in for my class, I don't let them start immediately. Okay. Even when they come in, they were on their phone. Okay. Then what I'll tell them is, okay, I give you 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. You know why? So that during the 5 minutes they know, okay, I'm given 5 minutes. After that I have to get ready. Okay, this is what I do for them. The reason why I also give them 5 minutes or 10 minutes sometime, okay, this is my secret in observation, also through my experience. Okay, when we go to another environment, right, it takes at least 5 to 7 minutes to adapt. Macam, okay, if you are in the broad daylight, right, and you go into a dark room,
Into the dark room,
you can't see
right?
immediately,
Right.
right?
Yes,
You
right,
see
right. Got that
flashes.
vision. Yeah, I got that
Sometimes
vision.
outside is very hot, especially our Asia weather, right? Panas.
Yeah.
So you
Panas.
panas, then you come into a room, you need to change because of the temperature change.
All right. Yes.
So
Right.
that's what I do. First,
Switch.
it's a switch of environment. You see, so it's a switch of environment. They need time to adapt.
Yeah.
So
Cooling down.
yeah, so some first time, initially, some of my students' parents, when they brought their kids, okay, sit down, they want them to start doing. And I don't. I say, no, I give them 5 minutes. Then after that, I explain to the parents. And now they know. So every children, my students will come in, okay, 5 minutes, enough. Some they even requested, I'm in the middle of the games, so I give you 10 minutes. So get them engaged, get them calm down, because my studio is air conditioned. So when they come from other tuitions, right, their mind need to rest. Then they need to rest in the environment also. So I gave them this opportunity. So after the 10 minutes where I gave them, okay, let's start. Then you will see they start. Because they already have a clear picture. I'm only given 10 minutes,
Right.
So that means indirectly, actually, I already prepared them 5 minutes ago. I will not tell them, okay, 5 minutes already, let's start. No, I'll tell them, okay, time's up. Are you ready? Are you ready? So they have a choice.
Yes.
Then you will
If
see
you're
them.
ready, you join the class. If you're not ready,
Yes,
then
that's where
prepare
they
yourself.
know they are ready. Then they will put this aside.
Yes, right.
They will put this aside. Okay, so for students who like to scribble during the class, I think it's a good thing for certain students, frankly. Okay, because you have to understand, if you identify if the students is good in art, that means definitely when he listen to your class, his hand would like to move. And then also through, if you happen to see what your student is drawing, you also can know which level the student is at right now, because that's where the mind is thinking. So if he were to draw, I have students who draw, when they scribble, right? You start to see they draw violent pictures. Some like kena pisau lah, then they start to draw darah lah. Then that's a good point of start. Then I'll talk to the student, why do you draw like that?
Yes,
Because
he
they
didn't
are inviting me to their world. But if you were to tell them, pay attention, don't draw. So you are stopping them from being sensitive. Then of course they will not tell you anything because you're not approachable,
Yes.
right? If you are approachable, of course we don't encourage everyone to do that, right? But you can see very clearly those who start to draw, right? It's not that they cannot focus. They can focus. Just like the same. Some student needs audio to study.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, what is it? Doing that, it's help. It doesn't mean that they don't listen. It doesn't mean that they don't understand, but they do. That's why we can check them at the end of the lesson. Maybe we can check them so we know that the
Yes,
students can get the point of the lesson or not.
yes,
Right?
yes, yes.
So yeah, so it's like that. Sometimes we don't have we don't underestimate that all the kids that doing something during the lesson, they don't listen.
Yeah, they
Right?
know. Actually, in fact, they are listening, you know.
They are
They're
listening.
actually
Yes, they're
listening.
absorbing.
Yes, they are absorbing. It's just that they are the way they respond is different.
Yes, right.
Some student will lift up their hand and ask
Yes.
question, right? Some they don't. But that doesn't
Mm-mm.
mean they don't understand. They actually listen.
Yes,
And in fact, they
right.
know what you are talking about.
Yeah,
But it's
right.
just
True.
that they are not expressive.
Yes,
So,
true.
and if you, as a cikgu myself, if I see student like that, if I stop them from doing, of course not, right? I don't mean we allow them to, right, in
Mm-mm.
a school
To stop.
setting, right?
Mm-mm.
But if they were to do it, you know what I'll do? Can you explain what you're drawing? Because I want to
Mm.
learn from you. You
Mm-mm.
know, I want to learn from you. That you will be surprised. I
Mm-mm.
learn many from my students because nowadays students when they draw something, you're right, okay. There's a saying by Van Gogh. Van Gogh says the artists don't draw what we don't see.
Mm-mm.
So they have seen something, so they just translate it into paper, and then that's where if I were to ask them, can you teach me what you are drawing so that I can learn from you?
Mm-mm.
Then you'll be surprised. And
Oh, yeah.
if they are willing to open up, then you will hear things that even their parents don't know.
Yeah, right.
All right. And then because this Chegu asked me, they feel proud. Hey,
Mm.
Chegu asked me that I want to learn from me. So they will
Mm.
tend to spell more. They will tend to tell you more. And then when you tell you more, and then we don't condemn them, instead we use love language to speak to them, you will find that
Mm-mm.
every time they like to talk to you.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
They like your attention. You will see,
Mm.
they will like your attention because they appreciate your
Yeah,
approachability, and then you will see them respond very well.
all right. That's
Okay,
right.
this is through my experience.
Yeah, true.
Even with the troubled students in the local school, right?
Mm.
First they will show you, no, I'm not interested. Yeah, I know.
Mm.
Right. you're not interested, but I will not ask you why. All right. But I will ask, can you teach me how to teach you to become interested? I want to
Yeah,
hear
right.
from you. So I want to learn from you. So I give them the opportunity to express themselves. And through the opportunity I given them, you will see that they are very responsive.
Yeah.
And then the next lesson you see things start to change. It's almost very, very what they can the effect is very evident one. Okay, because when they go back, the parents always will condemn them, right?
All right.
Homework, you didn't do your homework. Tak pergi mandi. Every day must chat with your friend. Every time parents will tell them to repeat the same story one, right?
Repeat. Yeah, yeah.
Don't know. Makan already mesti mau ada phone. Mandi pun mau, pergi toilet pun mau ada phone. Everything talk. It's all nagging. So if they go to school, the teacher still nag at me. Why do I want to come to school?
It's
Eh?
discouraging, right?
Yeah, of course. That's why,
It's discouraging.
when the parents understand the issues behind, right, and then we tackle the issues. I have parents who talk to their schools after learning, right? After learning from me, then they go and tell the school, and in fact, the school changes the whole method for him, and then you can see the improvement in the students.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. We have a question here again from Miss
Yeah.
Rahayu Kartika. How is the admission in Singapore for the
Mm.
students who wants to continue their school into next level? EBR has view, okay, has already teaching, okay.
We in school, I think in Singapore school system, okay, we actually have a very wide range of school syllables. We have art schools, we have private this business management school, university. We also have that. We have both private and we also have this government one. Okay, so if you say the admissions in Singapore for student, right? Uh, Actually, Singapore's the education expectation quite high.
Yes, right.
Okay?
Yeah,
Very high.
yeah, I know.
That's
I
why.
was teaching in the Singaporean school too.
So
I know it.
right? I think the teacher also stressed,
Oh, right.
very stressed, right? So the teacher
The
need to be taught
expectation, right?
very stressed, yeah, because the expectation very high. I think
Uh-huh.
nowadays our in terms of secondary school or primary school, right? Now Singapore we just started primary one and primary three, no exams.
Oh, no exams.
No exam. The exam starts I think in primary four or primary three. Okay. So last time in our secondary school we have normal stream and express stream. That means normal class or express.
Checkpoints.
Yeah. In Singapore school. Now we don't have this anymore. The normal and express all go into same class. Dulu is express class, normal class. Sekarang is all campur.
Campur, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then now sekarang if the cikgu in charge of the first year, right? The student will follow you until Sec 4, until they graduate. That means they will not change cikgu. So means the cikgu will in charge them for 4 years throughout their whole study.
Oh, okay.
Then now we also have this if the example primary 6 before you go to secondary, right? But your certain subject is not so good, right? We also have this art elective program. That means art elective means some student they are not good in certain subject, right? But they are good in art. So they can go to art school right, and then to complement their subject. We have quite a number of all these classes, but all these have to be go through some selections. Of course, there are
But the
criteria.
school is also what is it? Children friendly. Am I right saying that?
Yeah,
Is it children friendly? So like the approaches, and then it's like more than what they want, and
yes.
then
For
right
our
in Singapore
school,
it's
yes,
like that. Is it like that?
yes.
So
Now
that
the school
they can. Mm,
they can like more conducive. They are given to more choices to express. Okay, I have
mm,
given talks in one of the school recently. Okay,
mm,
to I think Sec 1 and Sec 2 students. And the school
secondary.
invite me to talk about career.
Yeah.
That means Sec 1, Sec 2, they start to talk about career. That means after school, what is the career? So they will invite
Mm,
different speaker from all over, right? Some
yeah.
are
From this.
accountant, some are logistics. So to talk about
Mm,
occupations that we do. Uh, so the school, some of the school who does that also. And then some like now I think in few years time our two art school is going to combine and into a university. So if you're going to have a art university in Singapore also, currently it's not under a university, so it's two separate art school. So in terms of admission wise, I think it's depends on what subject and also what the student is expecting. So we also have School of the Arts also. That means primary six. After primary six, they can go to School of the Arts SOTA. And not just art also. It's more towards the it's in fact it's more stressful, I think, because it's really into teaching. Uh, oh.
Okay, all right, all right. So that's the last questions I think here. Okay, anyone wanna share the experience, like maybe the same thing like you wanna share, like we discussed right now? It's okay. Do we still have time, Miss Ibu Siti?
The
Do
time
we
is up.
still have?
No, the time is up.
Is it? Oh, the time is up. All right, the time is up. All right. Okay. So it's really a talk, right?
Well, the time flies, but I'm very thankful, I think, for to everyone who you that stay back. I thank you for the question being posted. I wish I could share more, right? But I think next
Yes.
month I'll be going
Yeah. So I get
Jakarta.
the point about. Mm-mm.
Next month I'll be going
So it's
Jakarta.
like mm-mm.
Then
Oh my God.
for July, August, and September. Next month, July, I'll be going Jakarta, followed by Bandung, then Jogja.
Mm.
Ah, to meet
Wow.
some artist friend.
So you traveling to Java's island.
Yeah. In fact, I have a
Traveling
very
island.
close friend in Indo. In fact, I love Indo also. I like the
Mm.
nasi goreng. Okay, very nice food and
All
very nice
right.
people also.
So
Yeah.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I
Thank-
get the point of the art of teaching. So the art of teaching is about how you approach the kids. How
yeah.
do you understand them? It's not the kids who gets the who has the problem, but actually us the adults that have the problem to facing them, to teaching them. That's the art of the teaching. I was keep on questioning because I was a little bit nervous, especially when I got the title, the art teaching, the art of teaching. So I was thinking a lot, and then I just like, what does it mean? So now I got it. I got the point. What is the art of the teaching? Is about how you approach the kids, how you make them learn without pushing them, without asking them to do what you want them to do, but giving them time, like maybe spreading the time, so at the end they will do what actually like what do we call it? Yeah, the subject aim, right? The subject
Yeah.
aim. So like that. Yeah. So it's just like, even though the way is just like going right to the left, and then, but they will go to the point. They will
Yes.
go directly to the subject aim that we have was it jotted down, or we just noted down. All right, this is
Yeah.
very, very interesting conversation. It's open up the mind, maybe hopefully
That's
also
all.
all the participant here, so that yes, what is it, we don't have, what is it, there are a lot of approaches to make our students to study, to learn, to make our kids
Yes,
to
yes.
study and to learn, right? So
Yeah.
make it like yeah, understanding them, and then give them space, give them time, and then you will get them into the point that you want them to enter,
Yes, because
right?
they are our I think they are your sculpture, you know, your patong.
Mm,
So how you going to shape your patong? Because each patong is
yeah,
different. Like just
yeah, we
now, a
shape
question
them.
of 60 in the class. That means you have
Mm-mm,
60 artwork in the class to shape. And how you
mm-mm,
shape that,
right.
then it become an exhibition. It become a display.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Yeah,
So
our life journey exhibition.
yes. Then I think that's the greatest achievement, right? If they come back and tell you and cry before you, Ibu, terima kasih last time, you know, you teach me this way that no other teacher has taught me. I just want to
Mm,
say thank you. You know, you have given
mm-mm,
me the opportunity of expression where my
mm,
parents don't. You know, and they
yeah.
come back and tell you today I'm a
Mm-mm,
doctor or I'm a lawyer, doesn't matter, or even I'm just an artist or I'm a worker. But I just want to terima kasih, thank you for
mm,
being so kind. You know, I think you
mm.
are a good
It's the
teacher,
great
right?
portfolio for us, the best
Right.
portfolio of
I think that's
for
the
us,
best
right, as a
portfolio,
teacher, right?
because we are
Yes,
dealing with
yes,
real life, right? Real
yeah.
life. I ever told one
Mm-mm,
parents, okay, before I end this, I ever told one parents, all right,
mm-mm,
okay, you never believe, okay, 1 week we have 7 days, right? That children that she sent, her son, 1 week
mm-mm.
he has 11 tuition,
Mm,
okay? That means 1 day, 7 days, but the boys have 11 tuition.
11 tuition, how amazing that one.
Then I tell the mother, you know, I call the mother in the class. I
Uh,
told the mother, I say, can you manage every day one meeting,
mm-mm,
2 hours one meeting? You
mm-mm.
pengsan, right? What
Uh,
makes you think your one meeting you pengsan already? Almost every day meeting apa ya? Meeting lagi, right?
Mm-mm,
How much more
mm-mm, mm-mm,
11 tuitions? What
mm-mm,
makes you think your son can take it?
mm-mm, mm-mm,
At the end, she let go, you know.
mm-mm,
Then the
mm-mm,
son came back, now in poly
mm-mm,
already, text me,
mm-mm.
all right, Uncle Barry, now I want to thank you. I've been
Mm.
enrolled to Singapore Poly.
Oh,
Wow, I say,
it's a, it's like, what is it? It's priceless.
all right, it's priceless. Then I told the mother, I say, you want your son to be highly educated, but don't have human character. Or you want to have your son to have human character and learn how to love you, and then
Mm-mm.
want to become a gentleman in life, right? That
Right.
his score may not be so high, so good. Which is which? I think
Yeah.
that's where the mother wake up. And then now,
Mm.
true enough, he's in. I think it's this year is the first year in poly. So I'm very happy for that boy. Every year he will text me and tell me, you know, happy birthday, you know, happy Teachers Day.
Yeah.
He learns the character.
That's
I think
good.
that's the priceless, as you say.
Mm-mm.
All right. Okay. So
Mm-mm.
I hope what I shared today may be some helps or some pointers. Right. And I'm also very glad I can learn from every one of you also.
Mm. It's
Okay.
so inspiring. Like you give us inspiration as a teacher, as a teacher.
Oh,
So
aku
yeah, a lot.
malu-malu.
This is yeah, this is, your journey, your life journey that you shared. It's just like amazing. Like how you make your experience as your best teacher, and that's also you share it to your students. That's also maybe that makes my mind up, like, oh, all right, I don't teach them only the lesson, only the topics, but I also can learn, I can teach them about the best experience of
Wow.
life.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
All
Mr.
right.
Thank you
Very
so much,
happy.
sir. It's very interesting. Okay, thank you. And I hope
Thank you very
everyone
much.
also learned a lot from Mr. Berrio. And then I give it back to Ibu Hida.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Miss Oli. Thank you, Miss Berry.
Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you.
amazing experience to become the heart teacher, and very interesting to grow our knowledge and social skill for the future for our students. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
to Bapak Ibu, please fill out the attendance list that has been sent via Zoom chat. Okay, don't forget it. Before closing, let's sing a song of Padamu Negeri.
Hmm.
Okay, now we have to pray silently. Start praying. Okay, pray finished. Alhamdulillah, tonight our talk show went smoothly and well. See you again at the next webinar Ngopi, Ngobrol Pendidikan Inspiratif of IGI Kota Bogor. Thank you Bapak Ibu for coming our talk show this evening. Be healthy and prosperous to all. As the host, I apologize, which may not be pleasing. Thank you for the General Chairman of Indonesia Teacher Association, IGI Kota Bogor, and the chairperson of IGI Kota Bogor, and Mr. Berio, and the great teacher here. Finally,
Thank
I
you
say
very much. Thank you.
evening. Okay, thank you, Mr. Finally, I say good evening to all. Have a good rest. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Ibu Hida. Thank you, everyone.
See you next.
See you.